Welcome once again. I'm here live from Florida. Another few days coming at you from the far south of the United States of America. Enjoying my time here while I can. And with me tonight we have German Dave live from Berlin. How you doing?
Live from Berlin, Germany, and I watched way too much, yeah, evening football basically. I missed all the like 6 p.m. Or European time 6 p.m. kickoff games, but the more I watched the 9 p.m. Kickoff games, then man, it's a lot of football.
It is a lot of football, and we're going to talk about that. Of course, Dash is stuck in traffic again these weeknight.
Damn, I thought
They're
the
killing
traffic in Berlin is bad, man. I thought Berlin is
it.
bad with traffic.
Detroit is quite bad as well. Now, guys, before we get into it, please do like and subscribe. Hit the like. Just get down to that description. We got the Discord. Discord is growing. All our socials are down below, so please take the time to do that. And LGJ,
Especially Instagram, man. Help push us on Instagram a little bit because we will ramp it up again there, post shorts and everything. I'm getting everything sorted little by little, and then the IG, like we will post you about shows, notify you about start times, streams, and you will get some, yeah, maybe some exclusive Instagram content. Like we did that at some point. Yep, we want to work on that one as
yeah,
well.
all of it.
So subscribe, man, or follow.
Yeah,
Sorry, on the
Twitter,
social
Discord,
is
all of it.
follow.
Yeah, just everything, whatever you're into. And sometimes, like KF, we stumble upon a comment where he's giving some digs at maybe some stupid comments, and you get
Oh yeah.
featured on the show because it's just hilarious and we love it. So keep that up, guys.
Hey,
Now,
it can't be only us fighting against them comments.
no, everyone's got to join in on the fun.
Yeah,
So
we
let's
have
get
our
into this.
soldiers as well.
We have what? Sorry.
We have our soldiers as well.
Oh, our soldiers, our soldiers. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a community. Everyone is welcome. I mean, it's not just our channel. There's lots of other channels. And I was just about to comment. So I found a new content creator out there, Juve Cornercast. Uh, you know what? I like these guys. I listened to their show today. It's for once there's some fresh blood in the Juve community. It's not just a bunch of old men yelling at the internet. So we have good friend here, Gio. Just met him today. Chatted on Discord a little bit. So check out that channel, Juve Cornercast. Another East Coast Italian down in Miami, actually. So we're not too far off from each other right now. So yeah, check his content out as well. Maybe we'll do some work together in the future. At least in a couple weeks when I get home, we can organize some things. So welcome to the Juve community.
Hey,
And
we're always excited to work with other people, man.
absolutely.
Hearing other opinions, also from other teams. Like we would like to do that as well at some point. And
Absolutely. We're
yeah,
always open
no,
to it.
it's always nice hearing different perspectives than the one that we built over time. And yeah, it's nice hearing different voices.
I mean, we all do it because we love hearing ourselves think and talk, but I mean, it is nice to hear somebody else once in a
Yeah.
while as well, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely check that out. But let's get into it. And before we even start getting into the games, it is worth noting, man, there's a lot of games. We had this discussion a little bit in our Discord as well. You can't catch them all. There's just so much. We knew that
No, it's
36
a lot
teams
there.
going at it.
No,
Oh boy.
it's a lot. It's very. We are also F1 nerds, or at least Dave and I are. So I pose this question now specifically to Dave because the F1 race calendar feels so saturated that sometimes like I want to pick and choose which races I am watching or not because I need some free time, man. And it's also we get more and more football games and the workflow, like I'm working even more, and then it's more football games, it's more F1 races. For example, I nearly completely gave up on watching NFL games live. Like I'm watching them the day after by now. Like I've
It's hard.
and they're at bad like timings for me. Like it's hard picking and choosing like what to watch and what not because there's so much. And now these amount of Champions League games, like I I don't know, man. I don't sorry, I don't have the attention span to watch 3 games simultaneously and to watch it only like conference style where they are switching, between the games, like, back and forth. Like, I don't like that as well because you're seeing, like, 2 to 3 minute spans where, yeah, it's basically only a highlight reel, like, you don't see anything, like, in depth on the match. And honest
That is a problem.
I enjoyed so much, like, for example, the I watched, Real Madrid and Stuttgart the first night or the first evening, watched it, full time. Uh, was it that? Yeah, Tuesday was that.
I know
Yesterday
it's like that was it was
yeah,
2 days ago, and we're here 3 days or two days
yesterday,
later.
for
Three
example
match days. It's like
absolutely. Yeah. And yesterday I watched, Dortmund versus Brugge because I have my German bias, and sorry, I don't give a shit about Manchester City
sure.
because I hate them and I hate also Inter, and I don't want to do a hate watch. I want to enjoy my football evening. And today I watched Atletico versus RB Leipzig because, to contrary, like belief that all the Germans liked Leverkusen being champions. No, actually, like not a lot of people in Germany like Leverkusen. So I don't care about that. I hate Arsenal. I hate Atalanta. Dude, like, what am I supposed to watch? So I watched Atletico versus Leipzig, and I think, yeah, Monaco versus Barcelona could have been worth to watch because Barcelona shed their pants again at the biggest stage of European football. But yeah, no, it's hard to pick and choose, man.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword. We are complaining that we have too much to
Yeah,
watch. This is almost a good thing, but at the same time, it's just kind of how we complain that a lot of these people these days they just get their highlights through Instagram, social
yeah,
media, whatever, and they're just seeing clips. They're just seeing the
yeah,
brightest, most exciting moments of the match. They're not really understanding the full 90 minutes or full 4 quarters or full 9 innings, 3 periods, whatever the sport may be. And it really does prevent us from getting a full perspective on whatever it is that we're watching. Now, that being said, honestly, that's where you guys, the community, do come in because we can't watch it all. Uh, you guys are watching this, watching that. So whatever insight you have, absolutely drop it in the comments,
yeah,
throw it in the Discord or the socials, or come in on Saturday nights when we open up the lines and just fire it at us because man, like, and I'm away at work right now, right? Like I catch what I can catch. Life gets in the way for everyone here, so again, the community come together and
yeah.
hopefully we can cover it
And
all.
and am I correct now that like did I understand it correctly that Champions League and Europa League are now rotating like every week? Like this week was Champions League, next week is Europa League and Conference League, I believe.
I'm
And
not
is
even gonna
this
lie.
now
Like, how are we gonna even pay attention to all but the conference league?
yeah, because that's my question. Because usually you had Tuesday and Wednesday reserved for the Champions League, and Thursday was Europa League and Conference League. And now, like,
Yeah,
it's Tuesday to Thursday Champions League, and yeah, dude, nobody would pay attention to the Europa League if it's on the same time as the Champions League.
no, it is next week though. All
Because
the
that,
games start next week, so it is
yeah,
alternating. Let me look up the conference league because I don't know. Sorry, I just typed in conference like a dummy. Uh, so they are at the playoff stage right now. Their next game is in October, so the
oh,
week
so
after.
yeah, oh, so they're okay, okay.
Yeah, it's a congested fixture. And on that note as well, the Rodri in particular has been very vocal for Man
And
City
he's right.
lately. He played 56 games. No, 60 something games
I believe
last year.
61 or whatever. Julian Alvarez
Yeah, that
played
sounds right.
played
69.
69 or so or something like that. It's crazy.
It's like eating chocolate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's an analogy, yeah. just eating
Yep.
candy every single. Or you know what? It's just like being in Italy, or Italy. No, Italy's great. It's like being in America right now. Like my guts are
Yeah.
hating me. The food out here is wonderful, great bang for your buck. But after a couple weeks, man, you just want to eat some salads. So Gaetano saying hello.
I don't mind a good salad.
Oh no, absolutely not. Now, on that note, Jeff is asking who is from Tampa area. By the way, Canadian Dave, I hope you enjoyed Publix. My lord, that sandwich was huge. It was so big. It was only $10, and oh, I didn't even think I was going to make it to dinner. I forced dinner in at me. I had like a fish sandwich at that point. I'm really trying to like cut out food. I didn't even have lunch today. America is doing a number on me. I'm trying to keep up. Okay, so eBay corner casting Gatti is dead in doubt. Yeah, against Napoli. Should we be worried about her back line? We will get to Napoli a bit more after we get through. Man, there's so much to talk about with the UCL. But yes,
Yeah.
he might be in doubt. Bit of an ankle sprain. I didn't know until after the match that he actually had that knock. We have Danilo, who granted made a bit of a mistake, didn't look sharp, but he hasn't had many minutes either. Are
Yeah.
we worried?
No,
No,
I think
I don't think so.
you can argue a little bit because of his game time, but ultimately I think he has the routine in him. Like if you give him a full game, like get him into the rhythm, I think Danilo should be good.
Yeah, we should. And got time to send guaranteed on Dill. It's day to day.
Yeah,
So
we will
will
see
he
it
play? We
all
don't know.
in newspaper stuff and reporter stuff. Yeah, see it as a day-to-day status, basically, as in for your NFL fantasy team where you're looking it up all the time.
Yeah, so we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the rotation there. Why force Gatti in when you do have some depth there, that back line in particular,
Yeah,
Danilo?
and that's it. Like if he's not 100% fit and you shove him like into this game and play him, that's a game you can like substitute and play around. You have a full deep roster. You can also play Kalulu, for example, as a center back. You can switch that around and play Cambiaso on the right, Cabal on the left. Like there are so many options.
Yeah.
Like if he's injured or not 100% fit, like why risk it in a season that is this long and will go even into what was it, August? Like oh, sorry, when does the Club World Cup start? I'm always forgetting the date.
August off the top of my head, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah,
It's
that's
just
it. Like
it's all year.
yeah,
It's all year, guys.
yeah,
you get
and honestly,
what,
like
like 3 or 4 days for Christmas,
yeah.
maybe.
I know, and honestly, save the legs wherever you can because we just started like talking about the schedule that some of the players had, like Rodri playing nearly 60 games, Julian Alvarez, and a couple of those. Was it Ødegaard? I don't remember. Like played like 60 plus games, which is crazy. You have to think we're getting to the stage where a third of the year these brothers are playing football, and that is absolutely crazy.
Congested. So let's hit some of these. Let's just gloss over some of these scores. Sorry, if there's something in particular somebody's in the comments wants to talk about or anything that we've observed, we'll do it. But
Oh,
okay, sorry, we both got it going.
yeah.
Okay, we're both ready with scores. So let's look at them.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I sorted them by history. Basically, we were the first game 3-1. Do we need to dissect it even more because we talked about it on Tuesday
Oh
after the
no, we're
match?
good. I think we're good for you, but yeah, if you want to cast the last show,
Yeah,
absolutely, and
yeah,
as well, Geo here
yeah.
from eBay Corner Cast.
You can get the last show we talked in depth about it. Yeah, just honestly dominating performance again. Just as a short review, dominating performance. Honestly, just a little bit sad about that last goal because we fell asleep. But overall, everything beautiful except for yeah, maybe a bit more from the striker position. But even that, I honestly I'm not too worried because I still want I still want, and I think he will get a bit better. Let him get into the rhythm, like let him get his emotions straight and everything, and he will score again. Like I'm not too scared, honestly. Aston Villa, I haven't watched it honestly. I have no idea. Sorry,
Yeah,
like I don't
we
know.
already said, like, we haven't watched all of these by any means. I
Yeah,
tried to catch some highlights, but yeah, but their own comments if you
yeah.
want us to touch, or I just want to give this.
Liverpool absolutely dominated Milan. Like they conceded a goal like early in the game with a game or with a goal that technically could have been saved. The angle was bad for Pulisic, but yeah,
That was a nice goal
Liverpool
though.
came back and Van Dijk and Konate scored them. Like defensively, they scored them and they scored on them. And sorry, who scored the third goal? Was it Diogo Jota?
Just click
Ah,
into it,
man,
man.
man,
It's
I
all right
forgot.
there.
I watched the match, man.
Soblazai. Soblazai got it.
Ah, Szoboszlai. Yeah, yep, yep, yep. I remember. Yeah, yeah. Liverpool dominated Milan. We talked about that as well a bit. How they got schooled. Bayern Munich. Oh my God. This is I believe the first time a team like conceded 9 goals in the Champions League, and of course, like it had to be Bayern Munich because they are the team that crushes people like like all the time in the Champions League, or at least in the early rounds. Could have been even an even higher score, but yeah, Bayern Munich also dominated and only conceded the 2 goals honestly because they subbed Manuel Neuer out around halftime. So yeah, and the 2 goals that they conceded could have been saved easily, honestly, if they had a half decent like second goalkeeper. Dude, Real Madrid and Stuttgart, and I saw it a couple of times mentioned in the chat already. Stuttgart had especially in the first half, a very valiant effort, honestly. If any of you watched the game, and I think lots of you did, it was almost a basketball game. It was up and down, honestly, and both teams could have scored like in the first half alone about three goals each. And then how Madrid yeah, dude, it's typical Real Madrid. They score immediately for the second half kickoff. Scored on them, took the game like by the throat. Basically, they subbed at halftime also Eder Militao and for Lucas Vasquez. Defense they stabilized. They said, "Hey, no more basketball here, no more up and down." Yeah, they shut the box down and played a low block and let Stuttgart have the ball and the occasional counter here and there. And yeah, Rüdiger scoring from a corner kick. There's death taxes and Rüdiger scoring against the German team. And he did that again. And the third goal was a counter attack by Endrick. Honestly, he had 2 options. He could pass it to the right to who was that still on the field? I forgot who was on the right side. And on the left, he still had man, I forgot that as well. One of Rodrigo sorry, Vinny was still playing. Vinny Junior was on the left side on that counter, and he just decided to shoot it from what was it, 35, 40 yards outside of the box, scored it. Yeah, and that's it, man. 3-1 to Real Madrid. Nothing to be ashamed of. Like, it was a valiant effort, but yeah, that's what happens when you play teams like that are so into their rhythm, and especially on this stage. This is a competition. I think all of us know. Like Real is the favorite, maybe next to who is it? Manchester City. You can argue, but it's
Yeah,
Real is always up
likely.
there.
Now,
Sporting
you corner. Sorry,
Sporting
just your
versus.
corner cast is.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just want to get to his question there, just
Yeah.
because you are a bit of an expert on the German league. Stuttgart are they something to be worried about?
Stuttgart is a very fast-paced team. It's basically the Zerbi style offense, like very very quick passing, through balls, trying to to play through the midfield all the time. Lots of quick passes and involving the wingers and stuff like that. But honestly, if you play a decent game and not get into those shenanigans with them, playing up and down the field. Like if you have a stable foundation, a stable defense. Honestly, like I'm not too worried because they're not the best team defensively. They lost their two best defenders, one to Bayern, one to Dortmund, and their fullbacks are shaky and still pretty young. So normally we should be able to to win that game. Like if we have a decent defense, and I think we absolutely have that.
I, yeah, you know what? Sorry, I'm clicking all the wrong buttons here. Uh, we should honestly, I think there's the general consensus. We should probably get points from all of these games if
Yeah.
everything goes our way, especially City tying to Inter. We play City at home. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of points on the table for us to win within this group.
Absolutely.
Not to say we will, because it is still sport, right? So anything can happen. But
No, you never know. The occasional loss is always in there, and you also have to remind yourselves that all of these teams that are here are good to great teams. Even the teams that even the teams like Dynamo Zagreb, for example. Yeah, Bayern like murdered them 9-2, but honestly, like they still can be dangerous, or imagine like you concede from a set piece or whatever, or a moment like we had in the 93rd minute where we conceded the goal. Like these are Champions League clubs, and it can cost you quickly, like if you're not mentally switched on for the whole game. So don't take anything for granted, and dude, let's live with every single point we can get. And yeah, what was the minimum we set? 15 points, I think, is what we
yeah, that's what the general consensus
yeah,
from us and the community
yeah,
was
I
15
agree
points.
with that.
All right, where did we leave off? We finished
Yeah.
Real.
Yes, Sporting Lille. Honestly, I didn't watch the full game like the other one. Like I watched the highlights. Gyökeres is a monster, and I forgot who was the other one that scored a banger from outside the box, like 2-0 comfortable win. Lille was yeah, like didn't play good. Like it was very tame. Bologna Shakhtar, sorry, didn't even watch the highlights. Prague Salzburg, didn't even watch the highlights. I'm sorry. Like Celtic and Bratislava, sorry, didn't, I was working, didn't
And you
watch
know
that
what's
either.
funny too? We moved our show to Thursday so we can cover the
Yeah,
Champions League, and now we're discovering just how tall of an order it is this year with all of these
yeah,
games over 3 games as opposed to the 2 nights.
yeah.
It's
No,
it's a challenge.
honestly, I watched like I said, 3 evening games plus plus I rewatched the whole Juventus game, so it's 4 games. And that's a lot for midweek, man. That's even a lot, I think, to get
Not
four
to
four
mention,
games midweek.
not to mention you work for
Yeah,
Hertha Berlin, and you're watching all that stuff as well
yeah.
involved with that club.
It's a
So
lot of
yeah, it's a
football, man.
lot to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So yeah, so we're on Wednesday now. We're moving on to
yeah,
Wednesday. We got this
yep,
Bologna Shakhtar. Yeah, I guess that's what we expected from Bologna, missing out 2 star players and their coach. They're not going to do much, I don't think. Uh, now that's impressive for Celtic, I got to say though. 5-1
Oh
over
no, it
Bratislava.
is impressive, but I get like I have no idea. I didn't neither highlights nor the game, so I can't comment on how the game like itself went. But yeah, it looks like a dominant performance.
Now Dortmund, do you pay attention to them being in German?
Oh, I watched that game. And honestly, Dortmund could have conceded 3 goals alone in the first half, and the game would have been completely different if it wasn't for the goalkeeper saving them. Dude, they were so lucky in the first half, and in the second half, man, they subbed in like Jamie Gittins, another Brit, by the way, that if he continues to perform this season, they will sell him for 70, 80 million to Man U or Chelsea or to whoever. Like, subbed him in and immediately, like, dominated the game.
You
And
know who's not
that's
going to
how
be
they won
spending
it.
that kind of money?
Yeah. And honestly, that's how they won the game. Like, they subbed him a quick left winger, like, he took the tired fullbacks on 1v1 the whole time, scored from those situations. And in the end, the score is too high in my opinion, because Brugge played really, really good in my opinion. But yeah, in the end, a comfortable win.
So you know which English team won't be spending that kind of money next year? Man
You
City.
mean the team that will get relegated to the fourth division, or whatever?
Oh man, if that happens, I'm so here for it. But I don't know.
I doubt it, man. I
I don't.
doubt it.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
doubts there. So AC Milan. Let's hold up on AC Milan. They're coming up. But yeah, we need to talk about them a little bit. But Man City, Inter. First off, the other Milan.
Did you watch the full game? Because again, like, just caught the highlights, and honestly, it was a very boring game, man.
No, I was working, unfortunately, but yeah, just a stalemate. Man
Like,
City at
if
home.
yeah, like, if the highlights are three missed shots on target, then I don't know what the rest of the 90 minutes was, man. It's like, even the highlight reel, like, looked sad.
Now, City did have an XG of 2.35, 22
Really?
shots, 60% possession, 4 big chances. So you could argue that City was not clinical enough with that game. You would expect Inter to play that defensive Italian
Yeah.
style, sure. But at the end of the day, just, yeah, 0-0. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about either one of those teams. It was a boring game.
Yeah.
Move on. Let's move on from that dumpster fire.
Let's move on. Hey, PSG again. Oh my God. It's like an illness. It's crazy how many chances they keep missing. At some point, I told you, do you remember, like, last season Champions League, and the what was it, quarterfinals, and stuff, where we said, or a couple of people said, "Oh yeah, no, they're good. It's just they're missing chances." And I said, "Hey, chill. Dortmund can beat this team. Like, at some point, if you keep missing chances and keep missing chances, it's not unlucky anymore. It's a lack of damn talent." And Ousmane Dembele, I don't know if you saw, like, like, the shots he's taking, how they are. Honestly, the only thing he has is speed, and even his speed, like uh, is slowly, like, going away from him because of his injuries and everything. And it's crazy how many chances they keep missing, and they only won with the goalkeeper's mistake. Like, the goalkeeper from Girona, Gazzaniga, I believe is his name. He just straight up let the ball, like, through his heads. It was like, one of those slowly moving, or whatever. Like, they won
Oh, we
on a
have two
goalkeeper's
Greeks.
mistake.
Look at this. We have two Greek men in the chat today. We have Luke Tamberlus and a Mario Theoponis right now.
Damn,
So
how big are the
they have two
chances?
Greeks going at it. Yeah, go Greece. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. There, the chat's liven up right now. A couple of these guys, if you're not sure, are some of my coworkers, and they're
Yeah.
they're here for the troll. So I love it. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Keep it coming. Okay, sorry. So let's move on from that as I get distracted again.
So, Feyenoord Leverkusen, honestly, no idea, because I was still working there, and I left work, and I saw on my phone immediately, Fabrizio Romano again started glazing Xabi Alonso and everything. And oh my God, I can't take his post anymore, like, glazing specific people where, evidently someone is paying him to to post that shit.
But also that's what gets the clicks. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of course,
It's
of
working.
course.
It's working for him.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, Leverkusen winning. Yeah, what a surprise. Benfica versus Belgrade. I don't know about that. Man, we needed maybe Vlad for that game, because I think he is a Partizan Belgrade fan, and yeah, so he would have enjoyed Benfica winning. But again, like, didn't watch the highlights. Maybe I will do that after the stream or tomorrow at some point. But yeah, haven't watched that. And I know, like, from the Discord, lots of you watched Atalanta Arsenal. I have no idea what happened, so please enlighten me about that beautiful 0-0.
It
Oh
was
well, you know,
0-0. That's all you need to know.
All
oh,
right,
Bash
Dash,
here,
you
lovely.
you enlighten me, Habibi.
You want to be in line? I can try. It's not much, but it's kind of what the rhetoric of these games are, especially these these Champions League group games. It's all high stakes one off games. You're not going to get another one, so a lot more teams are going to be playing conservative, and that's kind of what it was, in my opinion. I think it's similar to what you saw with Inter and Man City. It's let's try to scrape points against teams that it's going to be difficult to win against, and let's go for it on the teams that we can. You're going to see a plethora of different play styles between these games. It doesn't surprise me. Like, for example, Inter against City didn't surprise me one bit. Like, you're going to see a lot of shithouse games, and that's what, in my opinion, what I saw with Atalanta and Arsenal. You didn't see, the Gasparini fluid tactical calcio that everyone jerks off to. It's more concerned. Let's sit it back. Let's take our chances when we can, but let's try to preserve a point, because at this point, from what I've seen in the results, to the contradictory of a bunch of popular belief, anybody can beat anybody. All you need is one awkward slide tackle, and if you ask Barcelona, they can confirm that for you, because one bad play and next thing later, Monaco beats you 2-1. So
Yep.
this is one of those things where these games are up to coaches and tactical. You can't gaff it tactically, right? Because you mess it up tactically, you blow it. So you're going to see a lot more conservative approaches. Yes, Atalanta had the higher XG, but for them, I think the thing was a draw. If they were able to get a point off Arsenal, it was a win for them. Arsenal kind of, again, I always say this, Premier League teams struggle against the Italian teams, and that's kind of like a fact, in my opinion. So it's like, I don't know what else I can tell you there.
Yeah, it's the Italian style, like Atalanta, where you think normally they are for Serie A a very progressive and forward-thinking team, like in terms of playing style. It's still against the Premier League teams. The playing style that we play in Italy is still very defensive for them, and they're not used to that because they're expecting a basketball game, basically. That is what they are used
Yeah.
to. Manchester City is used for the opponent to try to counter them, to try to play quick on them, and that is their bread and butter. Where they play with four center backs, absorb the pressure, win the ball back, and they have with Phil Foden, with who is it, Savinho that they got now on the right, with Grealish, with lots of players. They have the speed, and with Haaland, honestly the deadly striker that can score on you from every position. So that is how they win game. Like
Is
Manchester City, like went from that beautiful tiki taka ball away like a long time ago.
So I have a stat for you guys as I'm getting trolled hard here in
you
the comments.
you BBSOB, as I like to call him, big British son of a bitch. But like Doll, because he commented on the video saying, "See, Holland, 14 chances, can't do shit against big teams." I would like to politely respond to that by saying, "You big beautiful bastard." Um, he's already scored practically double digits within the start of the season. I think it's
Yeah,
more of an
4
anomaly if he
games.
does not score. If he does not score, I think that's more of an anomaly.
And by
You
the way, he destroyed the Champions League the last 2 seasons as well. Like he scored also against big games. Like it's
So also to add on to that, Inter packed the middle, essentially because I always say this: Manchester City do not scheme through Holland. Manchester City scheme through their wingers, and Holland is there to pick up loose balls and score. That is really what Holland works for. Holland is there as a safety blanket for the wingers. If the wingers get pinched and they struggle, Holland struggles because, again, Holland is lethal when there are loose balls in the box because his big Viking ass just gets in there and just blasts it. Most of the time, that's kind of how he scores. He is not like a Xerxes. He is not a 9-10 hybrid. I think he's taking strides to get there. But again, 14 touches with a team that's swallowing you up in the middle. Pause. Still, like, I mean, Dusan had 23 touches against PSV and had an assist and then a bunch of dolphin dive belly flops. But
so speaking of belly flops, I got the stat I want to throw up on Arsenal here.
of belly flops?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're just generally trashing English teams again, right? Because that's what we're good for.
It's bloody brilliant, even though we actually want them to supply us with some views and likes.
Of course. No, but we troll them. Arsenal are the team to have played the most games in the European Cup / UCL without winning the competition at 197. Screw you, Arsenal. Luke forgot his pubic razor. That's too bad. Yeah, you can use mine.
Sucks.
And for the NASCAR fans as well, because we got some NASCAR. I should have worn this. Look at here. I'll make myself big, I suppose, because this is how bad NASCAR gets. No, how do we get me? I don't want you.
Like,
You gotta
go wait, sir.
take my beautiful beauty, right?
Look at this. The Quaker State. Oh, I'm blurred. Anyways, I'll wear it next time. No, I won't blur it out. I'm gonna wear it next time for you guys. I'm gonna go full NASCAR. Full NASCAR. And Saturday night,
you have to have Bush Light to do that. Like, you have to have like a can of Bush Light, some hot dogs.
I'm not drinking Bush Light. I'm not doing it. No.
Mhm.
Atlanta versus
He's
Arsenal
like, I don't want this water.
No, not doing it. Sorry, there's so many comments tonight. I'm just trying so hard to keep up, guys. Let's bang through this frickin' Champions League crap so we can move on and talk about.
We are almost done because on the next game I just wanted to say Atletico versus RB Leipzig, how refreshing it was to watch a good old 3-4-2-1. It's a 4-4-2 and the good old 3-4-2-1 winning again because the other team is too stupid to learn that Antonio Conte and his team and Griezmann's playing style and everything is so perfect, like on counter attack, like it was incredible today.
I chalked up Atletico as one of the 4 favorites.
Yeah, no, they're quietly gonna do well here,
dude, and they are good. No, they're honest.
I don't think
like,
it's quietly.
Not
yeah, maybe
not
not.
only
I misspoke. They're gonna bang.
not only this game, like also how they looked in La Liga. Their playing style is. Do you remember like how much we called them like trash ball and everything, and Simeone like playing the dark arts, and now he has like actual like technical players there that can produce, that can create for themselves. Like the only one honestly I dislike on their squad is De Paul. Like I think all of us hate him. And that's it, man. The rest is very technical savvy. Even Conor Gallagher, who they got out of Chelsea, and dude, they rejuvenated his career. All of a sudden, he became a great passer. He scored a goal again. Not today, but in the game against Valencia. Damn, Atletico's looking good.
Yeah, I think they're up there, man. I think obviously, like, you know, maybe I'm just saying this to piss you off, David, but I don't view Bayern as a favorite. Even though they won 9-2, I still don't.
I don't have him as one of the favorites either, but I have them as favorite for the Bundesliga. So that in the Champions League, I don't think they will be around the best.
Yeah, I don't have that much stock.
For me, it's Real, it's Manchester City, Atletico, maybe a step underneath those. Yeah,
I think
can
I don't know, because like, for example, for me, it's I have a hard time saying that they're a step below, because I think they're the team that beat Real Madrid consistently last year, and then I think they've gotten better. I don't think they've gotten worse. I don't know. I just think right now the clear top 3 are both Madrids and Manchester City, and then maybe a tier. I don't even think Juve are. I don't know. I don't think Juve are underdogs. I think Juve are outside looking in currently.
I have a
because
feeling
like
now that they're going to do well in the
and
Champions League and stumble in the league. I don't know. That's
I think they're going
early.
to stumble in the Champions League against a team that does a low block. Like we're not maybe when we start facing these, like, I don't want to say these Eastern European squads, but like once we start facing the lesser squads, then I think then our weakness to the low block gets exposed. But like, for example, say that we stumble upon like a or an Atletico Madrid, right? Like we stumble upon them or something that employs something similar to them, we are going to struggle hard. Like
So
if
you're
you, like
saying
for
that,
example, in my opinion, go ahead.
like against City, then we should technically be okay because they play a lot more open, and they're going to be relegated to the fourth
We
division.
No, Manchester City doesn't
we
play open. That's the problem. They play with 4 center backs.
they don't. They're very pragmatic.
Yeah.
But
Like they're not like what you would say.
they're not parking the bus, is what I'm saying.
They're not parking the bus, but the problem is that they're compact. Like
Very
they're
compact,
essentially
very physical.
Okay, so which one of our teams
very
then are
physical. They're bit like all their players. Maybe they'll.
And Arsenal is a copy of that as well. Like Arsenal is a copy of Manchester City. It's just that Arsenal is not as refined yet as Manchester City.
Well, because they're English. There's no refinedness from Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
The only place that they're refined in that country is maybe Chelsea, and we all know what they are.
Conference League.
Okay. Luke wants to shout out for Dorian. It is Dorian's birthday today, so shout out to Dorian. Happy birthday, buddy! If you're watching, yeah, man, little door bear. So moving on. Anyways, yeah, another one of my coworkers. They're all just dropping in, waiting for me to go for steak dinner.
And by the way, also because we were talking about this Champions League mode already, because like there's the 2 games on our agenda. I forgot what the second to last was, but the last one was Monaco versus Barcelona.
Yeah.
And brother, this is a game that they had to win because now then they had to count like those 3 points, because look at the Champions League schedule now. The young boys, okay, you can win that, of course. But after that, look, the team that destroys them constantly, Bayern Munich, like in mid-October in the Champions League.
We all know Barcelona is in the dumps. They've slept. They're a shell of what they're used to be. They're still a decent team. But yeah, Monaco beating them 2-1. That's
and then
a little embarrassing.
Belgrade, you can win it. Brest, you can win it. Dortmund, sorry, but I'm not too sure they can win against Dortmund.
No, I don't think they could.
And
Dortmund's doing well.
And then Benfica, like, can you say 100% sure they will beat Benfica? Can you say they will beat Atalanta?
It's hard to say. Benfica, again, another team that's a bit of a shell of their former self. So maybe.
That's what we meant with how important every single game is, honestly. Because if you slip up like in a game like this one, you're already behind to the other teams that are accumulating point after point.
So we lost Dash again. Sure, he'll come back. The last game, we glanced over it. Just a shout out to Brest beating Sturm Graz.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
Brest, the team that came out of, what was the 4th division?
Yep.
Champions League first time, first win. So yeah, kudos to them. Not a huge team they're playing by any means, but still good for them. I'm happy for them.
Yep. And I think all the French teams won, if I'm correct. PSG won, Monaco, if you count them as French or not, but from Ligue 1, Monaco won, and Brest won today as well.
Yeah. But again, it just kind of goes to show what to expect out of this. Like there's not a clear prediction, right? Because like, for example, it's one-off footy. So every team is going to be going at it conservative, because the goal, like for example, for the elite teams or the wannabe elite teams, they want to try to get into that top 8. The top 8 gives you the first round bye, because you don't want to be 8 to 24 or 9 to 24.
Right.
Because if you're there, you have to play the playoff knockout. That's 2 more games, and then that's more film out on you. And then again, you're not coming in fresh, air quotes fresh, right? So that's one of the things that they're looking at it, right? So like you need to look at it where it's like, I don't want to lose, but I also need to I want to win, but I also need to make sure that I don't want to lose. And I think you're seeing this conservative approach. Obviously, I would say the Bayern game is a statistical anomaly. Like I mean, that one was just ridiculous. But like, for example, you look at like Benfica being able to pull it out of nowhere, even with Atalanta and Arsenal being the results that they are. Atletico and Leipzig, Brest, and the Monaco game. Like it's all like that. And then even if we look at it yesterday too, like there wasn't something outside of maybe Dortmund and Club Brugge, and then Celtic was Slovan. Like Slovan's a newbie into the Champions League, so that one I can understand that being crazy. But when you look at like the actual sizable matchups, like hell, Bologna somehow got a 0-0 draw against Shakhtar. Right. So I think you're going to see that where a lot of the teams that are in that 9 to 24 range, and then obviously some of the 1 to 8s, I would say the hopeful 8s are going to be conservative because they're going to try to, again, this is a cash grab to grab as many points as possible. I think to hit the top 8, you need to hit the 15, 16 point threshold to give yourself a fighting chance. And then with 8 games, you need to average about 2 points a game in theory to get there. So there's only so many games you can draw. Like, I mean, you need to win at least 3 to 4 matches, and then you can draw 3 to 4 in theory. So I think that's kind of what the game plan is going to be. And I think that's what a lot of teams are looking at it from. From, you know, a gearhead like myself, a tactical junkie, I think this is probably the most entertaining iteration of the Champions League, even though they,
I love it, honestly.
Yeah, like even though they plagiarized the hell out of the Super League, but, you know, whatever, fuck it. But yeah, I mean, this kind of gives you more of an incentive to watch other games too, because you're going to get these. Like I said, my biggest complaint with the group stages was like you never got high stakes matchups in the group stages with big teams. Whereas like now you're seeing that, right? Because back then it's all the pot 1 teams are essentially, you know, your domestic champions, and they would not face each other in the group stages. Where it's like now. You just had the domestic champion of England play against the domestic champion of Italy as the opening match. Like that to me is nuts.
Yeah,
so,
it was the worst game of the week.
Yeah, but again, the biggest question mark that I have for Juve as far as long-term sustainability, how do they handle a low block? Because for them to get far, they're going to face one of these 3, Atletico, Real, or Man City. Obviously, we're playing Man City in December. But as far as a knockout round concerns me, unless they somehow get an open team into the knockouts, if they make it that far, then, you know, I'm liking my chances. But once you start getting into that last 8, you're going to be going up against coaches that know how to be pragmatic. And I'm not saying Motta is not pragmatic, but one of the struggles that Motta has had, even with Bologna, is how to break down pragmatic sides. Because last season, the dude had a lot of ties with Bologna. There was a lot of draws. Even though we stumbled the last 15 matches, they struggled to get wins too. Because even though they qualified for Champions League, they roughly, us and them qualified at the same time. But it was one of those things where Bologna should have locked down 3rd or 2nd place easily. They should have not finished 4th, in my opinion. Especially
Sorry, Dash. Sorry,
Go ahead.
finish that.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
No, honestly, I think I'm not as worried as you because I think just on sheer individual quality, like look what Motta was able to do. Yes, he got a lot of draws out of Bologna, but you also have to think like he had Zalamekas, he had Ndoye, he had Orsolini, he had those guys. And if you now think of the wingers that he has Yildiz, he has Weah, he has Gonzalez, he has Conceição, he has who did I forget? Bangula still as a young guy. Like there are so many options that are, I'm sorry, but miles better than what he had at Bologna. I think he will be able to turn those draws that he got at Bologna and turn them into W's, I think.
So that's a fair argument. I understand that, but let me counter you with this one now. because he is at a higher echelon club, a higher threshold, you have more eyes on you. You have more high quality tacticians scheming against you. Because, like, for example, right now, we're going to have Pep Guardiola try to figure out how to stop this. Like, we are going to have, air quotes, the best of the best tacticians try to figure this out. And to say that Serie A coaches aren't trying to watch that is a little bit naive, right? Like, it's a naive take to sit there and say, oh, yeah, you know, Ivan Juric is not going to pay attention to how Pep breaks us down or how that works, right? Like, they're going to be watching because, again, it's their job to. And the difference is now, like, for example, with Motta at Bologna, you only had Serie A coaches that were focusing in on him at that season, where it's now, you, like, for example, even Carlo Ancelotti, where he's like, I kind of gave the blueprint out how to stop De Zerbi. Like, it was simple. You sit back, you wait for them to false press, and then you hit them with a counter. Like, you have those guys that are looking at things now. Like, they're looking at it and trying to scheme against it. And it takes, and I've always said this tactically, it takes one big exposure to completely derail your season. If you get exposed bad in one match tactically, where it's like you've completely gotten outclassed from a tactical aspect, because, like, for example, you look at Brighton, right? Brighton last season under De Zerbi, when they got exposed, and I think it was, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Liverpool. I think it was either Liverpool or Man United. Yep. The moment that they broke that team down tactically, it was done. It was over.
It was Liverpool because every time that Man U played Brighton just slaughtered Man U because Man U tried to play the game that Brighton wants to play. They tried to play up and down, but Man U doesn't have the legs. Like, sorry, but the defense of Maguire was starting around that time again. Casemiro was playing like as a single pivot defensive midfielder in his age. And I think they had they played at that point still Amrabat as a right back, like, because they didn't have anybody available, and they ran right into the trap. And Liverpool, ironically, that is a team that goes up and down the field like the whole game. Was the game that played a defensive style. They put Van Dijk deep into their own box and Konate and said, "Hey, stay back." And what was it? I think Brighton scored an early goal, and after that, like, Klopp said, "All right, we will sit deep. We have the quality to score like this on them, minimize the chances of counterattacks or of De Zerbi's team like playing quickly through the midfield against them, and bang, the game was into the books."
Yeah, for sure. And I think for me, and for me to buy more equity on it, I need to see us, break down a low block. Because, like, for me, the biggest stains that I have right now, and this isn't me saying the team sucks. Again, I want to provide proper context. I am a little bit disappointed with the Roma and Empoli result because of the skill position players that we have. I think you can give the buyout because, Koop Myers is still raw, he's embedded into the system. We haven't gotten Thuram, Luis, and all of them to play together. That's fine. I have no issues with that. That's a perfectly fine take. Because when you look at it, De Rossi's homeless essentially right now. De Rossi doesn't have a job.
Dude, way earlier than we predicted, man. We said winter, and he's already gone in September.
I said he doesn't make it to Christmas, so I'm technically I got it.
He didn't make it till Halloween.
Yeah,
Dude, I also he didn't even make it to Thanksgiving.
I know. He didn't make it to Boxing Day, but that kind of now that has a trickle effect where, like, for example, Empoli's win is kind of and then the draw with Empoli against us is so it kind of stains those two. It kind of blotches it.
Boxing Day is after Christmas, right?
I know.
Yeah, it's the 25th, okay. but yeah.
But that's one of the things where it's just like
Christmas.
We can't put too much onto it, and that's why I'm kind of telling folks, as far as like their expectations to go far, hold on a minute. I don't like playing the wait and see game, but we need more film. For example, when we're playing against an open team or a team that's chasing the game, we're fantastic. We're really, really good. Especially when Conceição gets healthy, we'll be even better. Because a team that's chasing the game, like, for example, Hellas Verona, or even the first game of the season that we played, right, with Como, like, the moment they started chasing the game, that's when everything started breaking down. We were exploiting space, pressing high, forcing mistakes, doing X, Y, and Z. So I think, especially, again, with PSV, right, that goal that Yildiz scored was a pragmatic goal. It wasn't a breakdown of PSV's defense, though I do want to say that Cambiaso did do a good job of giving him a half second of space. But that's one of those goals that PSV is like, oh shit, we need to do something. And then you could see them start to rush and chase the game. That's when Motta's tactics absolutely eviscerate another team, is when you catch another team on trying to chase the game and playing open at the same time. However, again, when we look at it with a Roma or an Empoli, especially that Roma team was not trying to win that game. And that's where I need to see a little bit more, because, like, for example, when you're playing against those teams with the style that Motta is using, because Motta simplifies the game. Motta simplifies the playbook for players. It's essentially role positions for players on that team. It's you cover this position and you do X, Y, and Z, and this is what your designated role is. And that's it. And that's, for example, and German Dave and myself, we've said this about Locatelli, even on the video where we broke it down. If you are able to simplify the role that Locatelli needs to do, because he is not that deep advanced midfielder, right? If you simplify his roles and expectations, he will do better. That was the number one thing that Motta did. He did better. So when you look at it that from that perspective, the simplification of roles, then you kind of need, when you're playing against a team that's essentially effectively taking out your roles, that's when you're dependent on that individual creativity. And that's one of the issues that Juve had the last 3 seasons, was there wasn't a consistent spark. One moment it would be Rabiot, another minute it would be Gatti, another minute it would be Danilo, maybe Moretti here, so and so, right? Where it's now, where you're doing roles, you're able to get by certain matches. Whereas, like, for example, with the Allegri matches, Allegri never did designated roles from a tactical perspective. That was one of the things that I wasn't a big fan of. He was like, hey, Jesus, take the wheel offensively. That's kind of what his philosophy was.
It's kind of what Real is doing, but without their personal. Like, Ancelotti is telling he's putting his best players on the field and in the in positions where he thinks they will work the best together, and says, "Hey, go out there and cook," because as a number 9 is not Mbappe's best position, but he's the best option on that position, so he plays him as a striker, for example. Last season, Jude Bellingham is normally a hybrid 6 or 8. And he rarely appeared in the box to be there as a finisher, but Ancelotti made him basically a second striker, which is incredible. Like, he knows of the qualities of his players and says, "Hey, go out there and try and try to cook, man."
Yeah, that
Go
ahead, Dave.
You know who Dash's favorite striker is?
You just wake up and then your heart is just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so those moments are crazy.
I think from a tactical perspective, we just lost 4 people. They saw that. They were like, Lukaku's crotch, I'm out.
Hey, but maybe we will win 4 people.
But
maybe,
look,
maybe.
The thing is with him, and I think that's the one thing that's essentially holding this team back more so, is you need that 9-10 hybrid, or you need that deadly 9. And I think that's, I'm going to sing it from the top of the mountain. That's the only thing that's holding us back for the time being. But I think, do we want to transition into Napoli? Because I think we've been beaten off the Champions League for the last hour, and I came back.
You got the hint, Dash. You got the hint. Let's talk about Lukaku and Napoli.
But I have just one more thought that I think Dash is discounting as well, and we may meet in the middle somewhere on this, because you said that you are fearing that that Motta system or all the wingers are easy to figure out. But I think we have a couple of X factors. Number 1, Koopmeiners is you can't figure his game out, because he can surprise you basically with any move. He has any trick in the textbook basically. And honestly, the different profiles we have as wingers now, like every guy is playing a different style. We have some that are inverting, some are not inverting as much. Some of them can dribble 1v1, like Conceição is filthy in 1v1 duels, for example. But Nico Gonzalez is the better finisher. Where is maybe the fastest guy we have, for example. Like, we have so many different profiles, and honestly, you can't set up your team for every single profile, and that is why I think we are in pretty good shape in terms of preparing games and not being as easy to get figured out.
So which is true, right? That is 100% true. However, there's always a but. If you effectively take out the 9 or the centerpiece of that offense, if you take him out, you allow teams to overload the sides or the wings, right? If your center backs do not fear the striker that you have, there's always going to be a shadow of a center back that's covering the wing on ball side. So that again, that's going to put more strain because, like, for example, if I have just a single center back that's guarding my striker, that either frees up another center back to cover the wing, it frees up one of the midfielders to press Koopmeiners, an additional midfielder to press Koopmeiners. So the concern is then you're sending Koopmeiners deeper into the pitch tactically for him to do what he's able to do. Whereas, like, for example, if you have a Lukaku and who is able to win the ball and flick the ball off to Koopmeiners, then that catches the defense with their pants down, and then Koopmeiners is able to be what Koopmeiners does best. But again,
are you talking about Lukaku with his pants down?
Yes, no, Lukaku dropping their pants. But going on to, and that's my biggest concern I have for Napoli. So now that we can actually segue it, because, you know, see what I did there, but segueing that into the Napoli match, my biggest concern with that is how is our defense going to handle the facilitation of Lukaku? Because in theory, when he played at Inter in the previous seasons, you would have Bremer man mark Lukaku, and then it would just kind of be someone would pick up Lautaro, and it worked effectively. The difference about this is now is that Conte's counters and their fitness is at a different level than what Inzaghi's is. Because the issue is it's not about Lukaku scoring that you should be concerned about. It's Lukaku flicking the ball to Kvara. Because as a technical dribbler, Kvara shits on Lautaro as a player. But the difference is go ahead.
There's one thing, honestly, that I'm worried about with this game. I don't care if it's Lukaku, Kvaratskhelia, whatever the tactics are, but it's this man right at the top, Daniele Dolberti. That guy can go fuck himself.
Hey, at least it's not Davide Massa. Could have been worse.
I believe his name is Davide fucking Massa.
It could have been Orisato, but he retired. Because
here's their lineup.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're running a 3-4-3, right? Yeah, so they're going to be running a 3-4-3. Yeah. Lukaku's not the goal scoring threat. Like, I'm going to tell people this: it's not Lukaku as the goal scoring threat. Lukaku is a dummy, both like actually dumb and a dummy on the pitch. But like, for example, all Lukaku needs to do is have a Lukaku touch into space and Kvara's through. Because that's going to be the one concern, because Lukaku is going to draw up Bremer, which is going to force Gatti in a solo isolation with Kvara. So that's going to be one of the biggest issues that you're going to have to worry about is can Kalulu, can Gatti, can Cabal, depending on the direction that he's attacking, because that's what Conte is going to look for. He's going to look for Mota to press a little bit deep in his own zone, not in the Juve zone. He's waiting for Mota to come up forward, and then all he needs to do is ping a long ball to Lukaku, and Lukaku just has to take a donkey touch into space. Because that's the one thing I got to give Lukaku credit for, is that he understands that his touch is trash, but now he redirects the trash touch, and it comes off as a pass more than a touch. Because, like, for example, that's the one thing that I've noticed about Lukaku that's changed, is that he's able to telegraph or just relay the ball into the space that he wants to relay it into. And for example, it's different from him facilitating and relaying play to Lautaro versus now, which is Kvara and Politano. Because both of those, especially Kvara, is very, very deadly. If you are to isolate, and that's what he's going to be looking for tactically. He is looking to isolate your defenders to get a one-on-one situation with Kvara, because Kvara will beat that defender and then drag another defender out of position and then have Lukaku block the ball as Kvara is shooting it from the net. Like, that's essentially what the scheme is. I'm just kidding. But Kvara will either slot the ball into Lukaku, Politano, or a midfielder. Because again, Conte midfielders are engines. They are not afraid to get in the box, to cause menaces in the box. They're not afraid to do any of that. Because even though he plays deep, that's going to be one of those issues. I think for Mota to have success against Conte, you need to win set pieces to get your first goal. First goal through set pieces, which then forces Conte's tide to come at you a lot more. Because you need to drag them out of that high tempo counterattack. And you need to get them into an uncomfortable position, because the one thing that Conte does not have is a plan B. If you screw his plan A, you win the game. There's no
plan A. He's going to blame all the players and all the management in the press conference.
You know,
He's
and
going to say
right?
he's going to say De Laurentiis has a tiny dick.
Trash can, De
Damn.
Laurentiis.
That's what he's gonna do. I mean, that's it. Like Conte is like that one Call of Duty player that uses the same gun over and over and over and over again, and then it's just like the moment you figure it out, he says you're hacking.
I use the same gun. What are you trying to say? I'm a one-trick pony.
You're
So
a meta.
you're Conte.
The meta.
I haven't played the game in 15 years. I'm just figuring it out. Leave me alone.
He's
No,
like,
just joking.
5, boom, 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 boom.
Whatever. I'm an old ass man playing with 15-year-olds. Give me some slack. That you can see that's Conte. Honestly, he's an old ass man playing with the young blitz.
You know, it'd be funny if you could get like audio of Dave's like game chat, because like I could imagine like the 15-year-olds would just be like, "Yeah, I bet your mom says that to me, or your mom says that," and Dave's like, "What? The slapping noise I'm giving her right now?" Like, I can just see Dave troll the fuck out of 15-year-olds.
I do shit talk, but I do because of my sanity. I just shut it all off. I mean, play with us when I'm back home, of course. But me, KB, Frankie, we play, and of course, by the time I get back, FIFA 25 or FC 25 now, sorry, will be released. So time for some what do you call it? Teams? What's the team? The clubs, yeah, pro clubs, yeah.
Hey,
We'll
this time even I will get it for PC, so I'll be part of the fun as well.
There we go.
Conte will be fired, leave, or finish his contract. No, he won't finish his contract.
No,
he definitely won't finish the contract. I don't know if he'll get fired. He might. I think he'll leave.
Yeah,
it will be the typical situation of De Laurentiis saying, "You're fired." No, I'm not fired. I'm leaving.
And they have,
I quit.
You know, they do that, and then they have hot, steamy Neapolitan sex right after, because it's just a fucking telenovela between those two.
Or just a hot, steaming pile of trash because it is Napoli. Bone saying, "Pause, did he?" Yeah, that guy's in trouble, isn't he?
Yeah, him and his dildos and his lube.
How many? It was like a pallet of lube they found in his house.
70,000 bottles of lube, and then IVs. Like he would be giving the people IVs allegedly. We got to say allegedly, right? Because we don't want to get sued for defamation.
Damn, that is a lot. Like, where do you store all of that stuff, man?
Well, I mean, he's got a big. Yes, that's right. It's baby oil. I thought that stuff you could just.
Allegedly, Diddy had more baby oil than The Rock. Go figure.
Oh damn.
Oh man. Damn. Well, at least The Rock is putting it on children.
That we know of, allegedly.
I mean, let's. Sure, I don't know. I'm not going to trash The Rock. He's all right in my books.
I mean, he's a rock solid.
Gonna lube that rock up with some baby oil. All right, that digress real quick. Just throw some. Diddy.
What else? There is that article.
Should they switch and shit on Milan?
Well, yeah. So Fonseca, I guess more so, the coaching carousel. So we already, I guess Conte. We're already making our predictions. De Rossi, he gone. Fonseca, how much time does he have?
Yeah, I think Ivan Juric to Roma. I think that's not going to do anything for them, in my opinion. I think Juric might help them defensively, but like again, it's just ironic. They go from Mourinho to like a pseudo Mourinho to another pseudo Mourinho.
Yeah, they should have just kept Mourinho, honestly, at the end of the day.
At this point,
They're at the same damn spot where they were with Mourinho.
And then you had all those goobers like sit there and be like, but Dybala knocks Juve out of the Europa League standings just for what? For them to finish sixth 3 fucking years in a row? Like, good lord. But
honestly, I number one, I think all of us knew that De Rossi will get sacked at some point. But honestly, for the players that they got, I think it was a very decent mercato that they had. Honestly, I think they would have done better, like in spite of the coach. Like,
it just it never made sense. Like, it's the same thing with the Pirlo move. Like, De Rossi and Pirlo are almost like the same style. The coach is like, the role is bigger than them right now. They just don't have the chops for it at the moment. I do think like for example, I don't see Juric bringing them into Champions League qualification. I think he'll make them more defensively solid, but like that offense is gonna hurt. And I think like for example, and it's LJJ saying it. Like I think Sule's stock is gonna tumble. Like I really do think Sule's.
Well, Dovbyk too, right? Like Dovbyk, if we're talking about offensive players.
Oh, it's also set for Dovbyk, man. I don't know. You can't even say it's set for Dybala because he's again losing a year of his career. Yeah, man.
He's ruined enough years of his own career, so
he left. He has nothing left at this point. He is just there to collect the check and his wife to be a Roman supermodel. The job that entices me, that has me sit down thinking, is the Milan job.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Sarri gets it. I think they get Max. Because you need a proper man manager for that team. Max is a man manager. Max is going to say, hey, I'll organize the defense. Leao, Pulisic, Morata, do your thing.
Not only that, but there's history there, right? That's really where he blew up as a manager. So
that, and also Allegri. I think Allegri is a petty motherfucker where he will take it out of spite of Juve.
Oh, for sure.
And this is where all these like Allegri haters need to like learn their line a little bit, because like you have not seen him with a team of effective players. That Milan side is a team of effective players. They just didn't know, like, Fonseca can't manage a team of that caliber talent, in my opinion. Like, for example, you can sit here and tell me Leao's washed, Pulisic is overrated, Morata's a bum, their midfield of Reinders and Cheeks is a bum, their fullbacks are bums, Teo Hernandez is a bum, Mignon is a bum. That team, if they are taught a shred of pragmatism with deadly counterattacks, that team is going to be difficult.
No, it's a decent team.
It's a great.
Just look by personnel. It is a great team. It's not a good team. It's a great team by personnel. And honestly, they got for their system the perfect striker, because Rafa Leao, everybody's talking about him as a finisher, as a dribbler. But I think if you get him into the correct position, he's even a great finisher. And who will get him into that position? Morata. And if you play him consistently, Morata can play with the wingers like very good. Pulisic is scoring like from everywhere on the pitch. Like the dude is incredible. Like I thought it will be a minus signing overall for them, because like my thought was that he will not play a lot because of injuries. But dude, the brother has been fit so far. Like he's barely missing games. Reinders, honestly, is one of my favorite midfielders because he's defensively stable, he's very physical, and he can pass. And he's even scoring damn goals, because he scored against also against Germany a week or 1.5 weeks ago. Like I really like that team. Pavlovic is honestly one of the best young defenders that we have in Europe. And he has both phases in him, defensively and offensively. He can pass. He is a damn giant. He can score from set pieces. He can defend it. He's physical. And I think overall that team is really good. And Theo Hernandez, I'm sorry, yes, we're trashing him, and he's defensively about a liability, and similar with Calabria, just on a lesser level than Hernandez because he's not as good as Hernandez. But Hernandez is always dangerous going forward, for example. And if Max built a stable defensive foundation for them, they will be able to expose teams.
They won't. And the thing is people will sit there and think that Max is going to do some negative 3-5-2. No, he's going to run a 4-3-3 there. He's running either a 4-3-3 or 4-3 or 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, he's got the personnel to pull it off. Why not?
Absolutely.
If he was able to take our dog shit team the last 3 years, and I don't care if people are going to sit here and try to tell me that team, our last 3 Juves were full of superstar players, because who's still on a roster right now that's doing well? From 2021 till now, besides maybe Locatelli, Rabiot, unemployed. Dusan, absolute dog shit bum.
Not a superstar team.
Pogba in jail, allegedly. In steroid jail.
It's
damn, oh my god, that's literally the first time we mentioned Rabiot all night. It was
the first
20
time
seconds ago. And that's
the first time
immediately where
it's the first time Dash just trashed Vlahovic. Like, I'm so proud of you. It's been so long.
It's an hour and 5 minutes.
No, he already did it when he said we have no outlook at the striker position, and he's
but not just like straight by name. Anyways, Vlad here saying, just take the glazing, Dash. I'm complimenting you for once. Vlad saying, did y'all start bad mouthing Monchaval, Adrien, Rabiot in my absence? No, but we did play the Lukaku bit without you.
Vlad is like fucking Beetlejuice, but instead of Beetlejuice, it's just Rabiot. Say Rabiot 3 times and Vlad appears.
Is Vlad a De Zerbi fan now?
Oh God, that is a disservice just to support Rabiot. That would be sure. That is what Roman Reigns would say. This is what these young kids call cinema.
Speaking of cinema, I know we've kind of trashed ultras before because of just their childish antics. Bringing it back to De Rossi and Romy here, I just found this. Cordova Sud are inviting all attending Roma fans to remain outside Stadio Olimpico for the first 30 minutes of Roma Udinese in protest of the club's decision to sack Daniele De Rossi.
He sucks as a coach, Roma Ultras. Move on.
But what? Yeah, honestly, guys, get over yourselves.
Dude, you dumb motherfuckers paid for the tickets anyway. They don't care if you enter the stadium or not.
Oh man, and Bowen's donating $2. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. Big money coming in, paying the bills. Appreciate it, my brother. The Lukaku app without Lukaku clip is blasphemy. That's how I tried to get Vlad. You missed it. I tried to get Dash to shut up about the Champions League and talk about Napoli, and the only way to do it.
You just wake up and then your heart is just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so those moments are crazy.
And for everyone that's new here, Vlad always gets the clip. If you missed it, we're playing it again. You're chopping. I can't understand you. There you go. You're good.
But yeah, I think that's the here. I got this also for Vlad too.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Starving for that Lukaku.
What happened to your laptop today, man? What's wrong with the computer?
Dude, I don't know why. It's just like I switched to my cell phone because like the internet has been absolute. Like I just was like trying to like sign in, and then it was just like pinwheel of death, and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm not dealing with this, and I just switched to my cell phone. I have a full battery on it, so I was just like, hey, let's just go from here. So yeah, I don't know why. It's like, you know, it's just one of those weird things. Maybe it's just because I live by Canada or something like that. The drivers are trash. The internet is trash, which is rare.
Listen,
you know, it's just folks can't understand. We have a hybrid of Canadian and American drivers where one of them's trying to go through. Hey, can I get through there? Oh, sorry, bud, you can't get through. It's my right of way. Oh, fuck you, man. Well, fuck me. Go sod yourself out there, bud. So like you have that, and then it's like because for some reason Michigan likes construction season is the summer, and then they do zipper lanes and people don't understand the concept of a zipper lane.
Nobody does anywhere.
So somebody rear ends somebody, and then we have a build up to fuck all, and then it's just like, really?
Okay,
Like,
I'm
really?
just gonna say it like that. America, I don't care. You can trash Canadian drivers. Yes, they're bad, but America is no better. You guys are just as shit. Everyone's shit.
Like Michigan's got like the highest insurance rates in the country, but yet people still drive like shit. Like, I'm about to just start learning just random German words so I could just start yelling out in German and I'll freak people out and just move over.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now,
People are
Europeans
scared of
can
the
drive.
Germans over there.
Just like be like, get
That's
to
one place.
or something like that, and they'll just be like, oh god, oh god.
Hey, and Germans practically invented the zipper lane, and yeah. So
You guys invented a lot of things. You know, it doesn't mean they're good, as has been proven as well in the past.
damn, you're shaming me again. we invented the Autobahn.
No,
The
you didn't.
Autobahn,
You're,
taken the Autobahn, it is a very good expressway, and we take it. It is great, very great.
I'll
Yeah.
give Germans transportation. You know how to transport.
Oh yeah,
We use the Bratwurst transportation.
yeah.
How else are you going to get 6 million people to Krakow?
Oh, that is very, very simple. If we go to the party, yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crack at the date party.
All right, let's move on before I get myself in trouble here.
We give you the ID.
I wanted to go further into those jokes, but I guess let's
well,
not
you're the
get
German
cancelled.
one, so you feel free. But
Let's not get cancelled.
He's like, Florida's got the worst drivers. Yeah, because they're all old as shit and geriatric. That's where it's like Florida's like the United States retirement home. Why do you think they always vote Republican every election cycle? It's all a bunch of old people. Work on cars, y'all. Let me tell you, no thanks. I was surprised.
Yeah, no, they are difficult to work on. They put the batteries in the trunk. They're all backwards. Vlad, surprised you didn't know that there's no speed limit on the Autobahn.
You did?
Yeah,
Man, dude, people are literally traveling overseas to Germany to drive their cars on the Autobahn because they can try them here in full speed, basically.
Oh yeah, they'll go over, rent a Porsche or a Merc or whatever, like a CLK or like an M3, whatever it might be, and just start ripping.
That's the different priorities of European dudes and American dudes. American dudes will get their 5 buddies to rent out a Lamborghini to take an OnlyFans model out for dinner. Like, European guys will just be like, hey, let's go to the fucking Autobahn. Let's just pitch in 50 euros a piece and let's just get an Enzo and just drive on there.
Funny enough, I'm driving a Swedish car and I'm about to sell it because I got a nice
Can you
German
drive a
car from
Skoda?
work. No, I said Swedish.
No, Skoda's Balkan. Swedish, that's Saab. It's a Saab.
That's a commie car, James. That's a commie car.
Yeah, I know, no, Saab. I got the S's mixed up. I'm thinking of Saab. Commie cars. Yeah, those commie cars are still running. Yeah, check.
Yeah,
Skoda's check.
like
And he was from the ball.
and it's pronounced Skoda, I believe.
Skoda. Okay, sorry, my dumb American
No,
pronunciation.
I have a Volvo and I'm about to sell it because I got a nice German car from work.
Oh, benefits.
Yeah, it's funny because Bones is saying like where batteries, dude. Like, oh my goodness, like figuring out where your battery is in your car now is ridiculous. Like some of them have it like on the floorboard of your rear seat, like of your passenger seat or your back seats, and it's just like why the fuck, like who, what, like I just want to know, like me as an engineer, I just look at it and I feel like the standard of engineering has gone so drastically down at these points where there's like, hey, why don't you just fucking put a battery underneath the seat, because fuck it, why not? Like Dave, you're more of a mechanic, so I could just imagine you just sitting there and just like looking at something, you're like, what kind of fuckery design this?
I don't know. I would refuse to buy a German car as much as they are fun to drive and they are like precision engineered. Working on them, I want nothing to do with it. It's why I drive a Tacoma and a Civic. There's reasons for this because I'm the asshole that's going to fix them. And guess what? The Hondas you don't have to fucking fix.
He's driving a Civic because he's got a cold air intake, a small little turbo boost package, some glow lights, and then next thing later he like has a bald He starts walking around like he's fucking Dominic Toretto.
And it's
not
louder than a damn
2004.
Ferrari.
Hey, Dave, how many Civics is Hector running?
Yes.
Hector. Who's Hector?
Oh my god! By the way, guys, Jeff parked a Lamborghini and he was shitting his parents.
Oh yeah, that was in the Discord. His parents. You shit on your parents. My God, it's gross. That sounds German, actually. Shitting on your parents. The serious question. This is funny. A serious question.
No,
If you
and
met
I don't know why you ask the German, because BMW drivers are the same around the world. Like, and
Doesn't
yes,
matter.
they
None of the
technically come
people.
from here, so we are the root of all evil of BMW drivers. And no, they don't use blinkers, but honestly, neither do Mercedes drivers.
No,
It's
just
a damn
if you're in
conspiracy,
a
man.
German car,
It's a damn conspiracy.
yeah, Germans and people that drive German cars. Like, why do they even put signals in those cars in the first place? It's such what a waste.
Bro,
Yeah.
I drive my Benz. I do not need signal. I just drive. They move out of the way because I have Benz. Okay, leave me alone.
I'm doing hand signs.
Hey, bro,
I
I
think
am
no, that I'm doing hand signs.
That is hand side. What is blinker? I use hand.
So speaking
Oh.
about driving, we do have the Singapore Grand Prix coming up this weekend as well.
Yep.
Oh,
And
boy.
And there's more. I gotta get good at this NASCAR. I'm trying to get good at NASCAR. We have.
And by the way, did you guys listen to the stats that Lando has to basically win 8 points on Verstappen every single race to win the championship?
Lando's a bum.
Yeah, Lando's a bum. That's the problem.
Can we just say Lando's a bum at this point? Because, you know, I just.
I don't trust him, and neither do I trust. McLaren is my team, but neither do I trust them to be tactically savvy enough to beat him like every single race. Wait,
What do you,
8.5
What about a nowhere Ferrari the constructor build?
Dude, by now it's more likely that it's McLaren or Ferrari than Red Bull. Ferrari is really close.
Sitting there thinking, I'm like, what happens if you get like a Leclerc and Sainz like podium finish for like the next 3-4 races? And
Hey, they have
you mean
done
like
it.
what was going to happen until Checo smashed him into a fucking wall?
Absolutely.
I see that you're trying to go in front of me with Charles over there, but I'm gonna not let you do that. So I'm gonna just take you out, make it look like it's your fault, even though I tipped your rear wheel.
And also, Singapore is the typical track where the Ferrari will be damn quick.
It's a Ferrari track for sure.
90-degree corners, here and there, 1 or 2 long straights, which the Ferrari engine is always good, like on those tracks. Like, you don't need, you can put basically your biggest damn Bondo revving on the car and still have some straight line speed. And dude, the Ferrari in that setup is great, man.
Here's a question: is Hamilton to Ferrari different from Mbappe?
It is Cristiano to Juventus. It's
Yeah,
Cristiano to
there's
Juventus.
parallels. Yeah,
It's the same parallel. Cristiano from Real Madrid or from Mercedes, who are the serial winner, to another serial winner, or to the traditional like big Italian team. It's a carbon copy of Cristiano to Juve.
Basically, honestly, you didn't miss that much Juve talk today. It was a bunch of Champions League talk. It was a bunch of trashing coaches that can't keep a job. It was making borderline jokes about Germans that would get us banned. And then some F1. So, yeah, you didn't really miss a lot of Juve talk.
Sense of humor. We are good.
Yeah.
And that is why we're now called the Dive, because we just dive right into the bullshit.
Well, I mean, like, we've been talking so much footy for like the past couple of weeks, and we're like, shit, we've neglected practically everything. Yo, Car wants to settle this in Mario Kart. Yo, I'm about to clap them cheeks on that Rainbow Road Circuit car. You better bend over.
Dude, Mario Kart, not my game. Rainbow Road. Not a single one of the 4 or 5 Rainbow Roads. Not mine. I'm admitting to it. I'm horrible, but have fun. Whoever wants to participate.
Dude, oh my gosh, like the N64 version, Mario Kart 64, Rainbow Road, that was probably the epitome of my childhood.
Oh yeah,
Because like those games, like I don't know, like that's the one thing I got to give Nintendo credit for is like they found ways to make those N64 games so goddamn hard that even now as a grown ass man, I still have to sit there and like actually try.
Are
Like,
you a
dude,
grown ass man though? Really?
physically yes, mentally no.
So okay, we gotta, because I know Gio here from Juve Cornercast. He is going live in about an hour and a half, so check him out. If you start talking about Vlahovic and his lack of form, Dash will not shut up for the next hour.
Oh, he will pounce on it. He will pounce on it like a hungry lioness, man.
I'm
He just
gone.
walks away.
That's it. There is no form. He never had that form. He was hot for 6 months. You mean Christoph Piontek or Dusan Piontek? No, but like in all seriousness,
Dash is like a Terminator. Dash sees Vlahovic, Dash kills Vlahovic.
I am here. There's no chopper for you, Dusan. I need to exterminate you so we can go back to the timeline with Sarah Connor. No, yeah, chuckle it up, Dave. No, but in all honesty, for him, he has so many facets of his game that he has to upgrade to be serviceable for this system. The biggest concern for me, he is essentially what you would call a midlife identity crisis when it comes to play style ability, because he's not either like a lethal 9, like for example, like an Icardi, a prime Icardi, or he's not a Joshua Xerxes, where he's a hybrid in between the two. He is just this weird, ugly stepchild that's in the middle that no one wants to claim, but he's there for tax purposes. That's kind of where he is right now. It's just almost like you're letting him play because you're like, oh, well, I need to get that discount on my taxes. So for him, he needs to pick one of those pathways and just get really good at it. Because right now, he's nowhere in between. Because the issue is, and I've always said this, and this was my biggest complaint that I've had for him for 3 years now. You are paying way too much money for someone for hopes and dreams. As a football club, hopes and dreams are not great strategies for sustainability and proper product production. If you are going to pay X amount of dollars, you need to make sure that you are getting the value of what you're paying for. And that's where I got into.
The problem is you can afford it with one player maybe to take a chance like that. The problem is we took that chance on him. We took that chance on Locatelli. We took that chance on Chiesa. Like, we take those chances too many times, and it costs money every single time after time after time.
So players, or I like to call them project players, should never exceed 40 million. Never exceed 40 million. If you are going past 40 million on a project player, and I'm doing that for inflation for this transfer market, right? If you are spending 40 million on a project player, you're in trouble. Because, like, for example, Conceição, as much as I like him, project player, right? He wasn't the bona fide de facto killer winger at Porto. And I'm not saying that he's bad, but he is technically a project player, and his value is right around the spot where I would take that risk. Chiesa was over that, 60 plus. That was his value. The other thing would be, additionally, would be Dusan, right? Di Maria and Pogba, I don't really count them as much as project players because they're 2-year, 3-year contracts, 1-year contract for Di Maria. It's kind of like a transition. It's a gap. There's not really, we don't have the money. We'll get you Di Maria, 7 million, whatever. Fuck it. That's the one thing with that. But his question is now, do you guys think we should have sold Vlahovic instead of Chiesa? The issue is both of them have little to no equity. Both of them. Chiesa, the risk with Chiesa was that you needed to sell him because you weren't going to renew him at the value that he was asking for. And that was one of those issues where you had to move him. The problem is you can't move Dusan, and the issue with moving Dusan currently right now is his contract. Because at the end of the day, it's 22 million gross. The only people that are going to pick that up are some schmups in the Premier League. And by shmups, I mean the top 5 in the Premier League. Those are the only teams in the world.
From France.
So right now, or Giuntoli and Motta, I'm assuming, this is what I'm assuming, they're sitting there thinking, we need to do something to make people see that this guy is serviceable.
Yeah.
Like their objective is to make Dusan look decent this season. Because I'm telling you now, unless he has a 40-goal season, his ass is gone in the summer. There is no keeping him. Because
Dude, even with a 40-goal season, he's gone anyways, because at that point, that is the most money you can get out of that. In my opinion, he's gone anyways. It's just whether we get 30 for him, for example, or 50 to 60. That is the main question.
But the rumor is that Man United is willing to put 50 million on the table. If they do 50 million, take that and
that is, I don't even like. I don't
rate
believe
the
it for something like
No,
like
I totally
look at the money they put in like within one calendar year into the striker position with Højlund and Xerxes.
Though, I mean, it could run beneficial if you're able to trade Xerxes for Dusan, that would work. Or if you were able to do 50.
They will not, I don't know.
They won't. I don't think they will. I don't think it's possible. But because, like, for example, the one thing that you look at it, right? And again, I kind of brought this idea. I think you need 2 players to fill the position that Dusan would leave. You need an experienced striker. You need an experienced striker that knows how to score goals. Like, I'm just throwing it out there, like an Icardi, right? Like, you would get an Icardi, values 9 to 15 million. You're able to bring in an Icardi, and then you're able to bring in a younger backup that has a similar kind of, because, like, for example, that's what Inter did, and they did it well. Lukaku, Lautaro, Icardi, Lautaro. They had those veteran guys until Lautaro was able to take the reins, and now you have Lautaro, Marcus Thuram. That front line is set. Tactically, they are set. Both of those 2 players, Thuram and Lautaro, are both young, and they're both firing on all cylinders. So, like, they were able to do that. We have not been able to do that because, for example, when we had Higuain, we should have had the next guy behind Higuain working his way up, but we didn't. In theory, it was supposed to be Keane, but Sarri's bum ass sent him away. That is one thing I will forever hold on Maurizio Sarri. He had to sell, or him and Paratici, both a bunch of knuckleheads. They sold Keane for 30 million to get a profit. That to me, if Keane stayed and developed, I think Keane would have been a great striker. I mean, even now,
Honestly,
if Fiorentina 4-goal games.
Do you know what my bigger problem is? If you sell him, okay, you sold him. My problem is that we bought him back and sold him for even less. Like, that is a minus deal overall.
That was dominoes falling too, though, with the Ronaldo thing.
Yeah,
So.
18 million though. Like, for example, if he continues on that trajectory, 18 million is an absolute steal. You know, fucking Comiso just knows how to drop. He goes. But we should just never do a deal with Fiorentina ever again. Just stop. No more deals with them.
It has to be over.
Yeah, but it kind of one of those things where that's going to be an issue this season, and that's going to be the limiter is what he's able to do. Because, like I said, you're paying Haaland money for a guy that can't even spit on Haaland's shoes. It is what it is, right? And I think, like, for example, Keane doing well in the Palladino system kind of shows that Keane would probably do well here. So it's unfortunate, but yeah.
All right, let's make fun of one more thing. We haven't made fun of anything from IFTV yet this show.
I thought you make fun of Mo Salah's backup. That's always fun. The 30-second man.
The 30-second man. Yeah, that sounds like me. But no, we're talking about that other guy. No, this is Atalanta. So, and admittedly, this is pretty cool. IFTV saying this tifo from Atalanta fans is incredible, reminding everyone who the defending Europa League champions are. Cool, but you're in the Champions League now. So, why does anybody care that they want?
I don't know who glazes. I don't know who glazes harder, Krispy Kreme with their donuts or IFTV and Italian stuff.
Oh man, at least with Krispy Kreme, you get it the second time as it comes out.
Yeah, at least with Krispy Kreme, I want to put it in my mouth. Pause.
spaghetti in my mouth.
That's a sound bite. Oh, that's a clip.
Clip it, boys.
Oh damn! Vlad getting into the Shannon Sharp stuff. Oh my god!
He keeps on dropping names that I do not know because
By the way, have people found out by now, like which Michelle it was?
Michelle from First Tip, bro.
Oh damn!
it's tight end.
She got him.
Still learning.
Bat, bro.
Okay, already. Broncos. Okay, they're playing. The Broncos
Hey,
playing tonight.
be careful! Don't put your Google search on the screen now.
Okay, no, I have it on the other screen. Actually, this is the first time I have the TV up ahead of me. That's why I keep on looking up. So it's actually cool. Maybe I need to mount a TV in my home office just to have more screens. I like it.
Oh, my future setup will be basically my laptop screen somewhere to the right. Like I may even not use the laptop screen and have a big like nearly 40-inch screen as the main screen where I can shove the windows around and stuff.
Yeah, just more screen. The answer is always more screens.
Oh, yeah.
Just always more. Okay, I'm gonna have to read up on the Shannon Sharp stuff. It something with Brett Favre.
Very cheeky.
No. Very, very
No.
Okay, I'll look into
Just
that. I'll get back to you guys.
It's clapping seats.
I was totally into Jason Kelce though. There a few days back with his Philadelphia tracksuit or tuxedo. He called it there. Yeah, that was good.
Yep. Jason's great, man.
Yeah, no, he was funny. And then he had to apologize because everyone got upset. Basically, like the non-Philly fans got upset that he made the whole, I think it was Thursday Night Football, all about him. Was it Thursday?
Monday.
Was it Sunday? Monday? It was
Monday night.
Jeez, I have no concept of time right now. I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, no,
right.
But what was the discussion I missed? There was something with German character or whatever. I didn't understand the context of it.
Earlier?
I don't want to run to run from a discussion. I just didn't understand.
Okay, no, he was talking about at the time we were talking about the Mario Kart, and he's asking who the most German character is. And personally, I would have to go with Donkey Kong because he steals little white girls from their homes and locks them up.
Steep.
On that note, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe where we take you.
And we're canceled.
And
No, let me think about it.